Thanks for checking out this haul video. So, gonna go over everything I got from the Vinegar Syndrome Labor Day sale. It's gonna include the things that I picked up that were discounted, the things that came for sale that were out of print already, that they happened to find some of while they were cleaning out their warehouse, and the subscriber included September releases. So I'm just including it all in one because if I separated out the September releases for subscribers, it was only 3 releases. So I'm just like, I'm just going to do it all in one video. So this is my stack. This is a big stack of stuff. Gonna go over everything I got. And actually, I only missed one thing that I wanted. They were, for people who don't know, what they were doing is each day of the week, they were putting up, or actually, I think it just went Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So for those 4 days, each day they were putting up a group of out of print titles that they happened to find more of, and it was usually a very small amount. So it was first come, first serve. So there was kind of a mad dash at 12:01 p.m. that day to kind of get what you could. On the first day, I wanted to get Alley Cat because that was available. I've been wanting that film. And I didn't know, since it was the very first day, that there was an issue with the updating of it. Or actually, I think that was Saturday, actually. I wasn't aware that there was an issue with the updating of it, where you would look at the section for the out of print, and it would show some of them, but you had to keep refreshing, and it kept showing more and more and more and more. So you had to refresh numerous times in order to see everything. So for that reason, I ended up not knowing that Alley Cat was available until I eventually refreshed enough and saw it after I figured out that issue, and then I was like, oh, it's already sold out. So that was the only one I missed, so not a big deal. I've seen some people online like really getting angry and complaining. I didn't even get a chance to get this. It was out of print. There was barely any of it. Like, you can't be mad. Like, come on. You know, these are things. Don't get too upset. So anyway, just going to go over everything. But here's the thing. First, I'm just going to show you the big things that I got. And I'm not going to, like, fully unbox these or, like, really show you too much of them. I'm going to do it in a separate video for this. But I'm going to do it after I've actually read them. And I'm going to do, like, a review. And please let me know, how do you want me to do their comic books? Do you want me to do one video with all 3 of these, reviewing them and showing them, or do you want me to do like one video for each of them? Let me know in the comments. That would be helpful because I'm very undecided. So anyway, I picked up House by the Cemetery, and I've already opened this up and kind of looked inside. The packaging is unbelievable. Like, this thing is freaking heavy. This is very heavy. This is at least, I mean, it's got to be over 10 pounds. It's pretty heavy. It's really interesting, cool packaging. It's like, even the individual comics inside, it's 4 comics. The individual comics have individual slip covers on them. So, and then there's this giant slip box. Like, it's wild how much they put into this. So the reason I ended up picking this up, it's House by the Cemetery, Lucio Fulci's. First of all, I'm, into Fulci stuff, but I've been interested in Eibon Press since before, like well before Vinegar Syndrome purchased them. But when I found out about them, all the comics that I wanted had already been sold out, which are the ones I'm going to show you next. But this one hadn't been out yet, I don't believe. But I decided to pick this one up because, A, it was on sale. I think it was like 50% off SRP. Plus, subscribers had gotten this year I think it was like $15 off coupon code you could use for it. And it's someone online said, hey, subscribers, you can stack that on top of the discount. So I was able to get this for $15. And for $15, this is an absolute steal with how amazing this packaging is, how much artwork and extra stuff is in it, and the comics look really cool. I haven't read them yet, but yeah, it looks great. So I got this one for $15. Absolute steal. Then I also got Maniac, which this is one of the ones this is the one I wanted the most. This was what I was most interested in. But when it was first available on their site, I was like, man, that is so much to pay, because it was like $70 or something. And I'm like, for 4 comics, I don't know if I want to do that. So got this one wasn't the $15 because it came out last year. This was, because I didn't have the coupon code, it was like 22, 23, somewhere in there. Still a steal, basically, for how cool this is. So I'm very excited to read this one. And then I also got Maniac 2 Roadkill, which was another one I wanted. And this one, $17. So $2 more than the House by the Cemetery, because I was able to use the coupon code for this one. $17. Unbelievable steal on this. So again, let me know in the comments, how should I review these all at once and show you all the stuff, or one at a time? I feel like I'm leaning more towards one at a time, but we'll see. Okay, so first of all, I got a sticker. They're one of their rad stickers. This is cool. I'm going to put it, I don't know if you noticed, but I put stickers up here. I have like two Severin, one Vinegar Syndrome, and one for the band Thursday, because I love Thursday, but probably put that up there. That'll go there. So I'm going to break this down between the September subscriber releases and what I got from the actual sale. So let me go ahead and do the sale ones first, and I'm going in order from least excited about to most excited about. This was one of the ones that was deeply discounted. They've been trying to get rid of this one for a long time. Devil Story, it was very cheap. I think it was like under $10 basically, because they've really been trying to get rid of it. Heard polarizing things about this. One of the subscribers, Salty Essentials, shout out to you, had said that they highly recommend it to me, but I've heard it's very slow, so I don't know how I'm going to land on this, but it was very cheap, so I was like, let me take a chance. If people want to see the original artwork on Devil Story, I think it's a French film. I mean, the trailer looks but we'll see. We'll see. It was very cheap. It's worth a shot. A young couple on vacation in the French countryside decide to stay the night at a spooky old castle after their car breaks down. Despite being warned about the local legend of a cursed ship which crashed into the nearby cliffs, the wife ventures out into the wild only to find herself having to fend off a Nazi-uniformed mutant, his gypsy mother, a rogue mummy, a horse possessed by the devil, and more. I mean, it sounds wild. It sounds fun. So, interested to give it a go. Devil Story. Then we have one that I could have gotten it when it was available initially. And I passed on it because it has bad memories tied to it for me, having to do with an ex-girlfriend who had cheated on me. So this was like her favorite movie. So I was like, it's just one of those things. But it came available again. It was one of the out-of-print titles. And I was like, you know what? I've talked to people since who have said they love this film. I think I should give it another shot. And that's Drop Dead Fred. Phoebe Cates in it too. So, you know, love Phoebe Cates. So let me give it a go. There is a small little insert in this. And this is the other artwork there, which I don't think is that cool. But this is cool on the disc. I like that. Let's read about it. Elizabeth's life is in shambles. Her husband has just dumped her for another woman. Her car has been stolen, which causes her to arrive late for work only to get fired, and her overbearing mother has convinced her to move back home. One night when she can't sleep, Elizabeth happens upon the small box which housed her childhood imaginary friend, Drop Dead Fred, who used to cause all kinds of mischief. But when Elizabeth opens the box, causing Fred to reappear, she is drawn into a raucous series of new, highly destructive and hilarious adventures. I have seen it before. I watched it with said ex-girlfriend, and I don't remember how I liked it. I think I liked it enough. I don't know, but gonna be brave, gonna give it a go. So Drop Dead Fred. Then one I was really glad that I was able to snag one of because it sold out really fast. It was one of those out of print ones. It's been on my list to try and get. Was going to be through eBay, but thankfully I had the sale. Cutting Class. Had missed out on this one originally. Wasn't into Vinegar Syndrome when it originally came out. But Brad Pitt's in it. Martin Mull, Jill Schoen, Roddy McDowall, Donovan Leitch. Really great cast. Especially, I'm a fan of Jill Schoen in general. So that she's in it. Be cool to see some early Brad Pitt. So interested in checking out Cutting Class. Show you the inside. I actually really like that. That's a really cool one. I think that's what one of the slip covers were. They like variants for it. Paula Carson's high school experience couldn't be better. Between being class president and dating her school's star basketball player Dwight, She seems to have everything she could ask for, but when mentally disturbed teenage murderer Brian Wood is released from an area asylum and rejoins his old classmates, it's not long before students and teachers alike turn up missing or are found murdered. While Dwight becomes convinced that Brian's gone back to his violent ways, Paula can't help but suspect that someone might be trying to set Brian up to carry out their own twisted plan. Yeah, sounds fun. Very excited to finally get into this one. Heard pretty good things about it, and apparently Jill Schoelen, that she was dating Brad Pitt at this point. I think they were potentially going to be engaged, or they were engaged, from what I remember. Not 100% sure. Don't quote me. All right, so the next one I picked up, which was another one that had gone out of print, it was one that initially, when it was available, I was kind of on the fence about. I was like, I can't find many reviews on it. I don't know much about it, but I have like some of the stuff that VHS Hit Fest has put out. So when I saw it available, I'm like, I'm just going to go for it now. That's Game of Pleasure. It sold out fast when it was initially available. Looks like really ridiculous. Like, I love the premise of this, and obviously I'll read it to you, but that's a terrible cover. What they came up with for the release is better. All right. The largest computer gaming firm in the country has just completed its latest and possibly greatest virtual reality game, Pleasure. But the erotic program has a deadly computer virus that meshes the realms of reality and fantasy when its host, Vixen, takes the player into a journey through the senses. Play at your own risk. Looks ridiculous. I've heard it's like terrible, but like fun terrible. So, Game of Pleasure. Excited to check this one out. Then, this is it for the out-of-print and discounted ones that I got. I think this one was another one of the out-of-prints, actually. So, yeah, 3 of the 5 I got were out-of-prints. The other 2 were just discounted. I think, wait, yep. No, 4 of the 5. Yeah, 4 of the 5 were out-of-print. Sorry, math, you know. We Kill for Love. I don't buy a whole lot of documentaries, but I am very interested in the erotic thriller genre of film. It's just very intriguing to me. The Lost World of the erotic thriller. This is my first Yellow Veil purchase, and yeah, I've heard really good things about this documentary, actually. Nice booklet in there for it, and I also like that cover, too. That's a cool cover. Thinking about flipping it, but they're both good. We Kill for Love goes in search of the forgotten world of the direct-to-video erotic thriller, an American film genre that once dominated late-night cable television and the shelves of neighborhood video stores. Through interviews with the many directors, writers, and actors who fan the flames of the sexy subgenre, to academics and film historians whose books have explored its mysteries, this documentary explores the erotic thriller from its origins in film noir to its heyday during the home video explosion. And that's the thing, like, its connection to film noir is what interests me most. Like, anything in that realm of, like, thriller, erotic thriller, giallo, slasher, film noir, crimi, like, all those in, like, the same lineage there. Very interested in. So, real excited for We Kill for Love. Okay, then, getting into now the subscriber-included September releases. I did not purchase any additional releases that they had. They had like 2 cinematographs and like 2 VSAs and a VSL. I didn't purchase any of those because they just didn't look like my thing. They didn't look like I was going to be that interested in them. I'm kind of like, I feel like I want to get them because I want to be able to review them for people, but that's my personal money I'm spending. I make barely anything from doing this YouTube channel, so I was just like, you know. But, you know, if you do feel like contributing in some way, subscribing is great, watching the videos is great, thumbs up on the videos is great, and I also have channel memberships if you're interested. It's in the link, but you can check the 2 tiers. But anyway, that said, here we go. So the one I'm least interested in, but still quite interested in, is Cruel Britania. This is a 3-film set, all horror films from the UK, well, Britain. And there's the back. Not huge on this artwork. It's okay. So first of all, very excited. They have a booklet. I'm always into the booklets. Love the booklets. They usually do a bang up job on their essays. And then we have this again. Not big on this artwork. This artwork is very whatever. And then on the inside, whatever. And the discs. So let's read about these films. British cinema has long cemented its legacy of producing creative thrillers, often infusing macabre twists with a wry sense of cynical humor. By the early 1970s, the British film industry had become more daring in subject matter while still relying on the consummate technical professionalism that helped establish it as a leading force in the medium. Presented here are a trio of rarely seen murder thrillers and mysteries that showcase the types of independent and transgressive work coming out of Britain in the first half of the decade, all of which have been newly restored by Vinegar Syndrome for this release. First one, Crucible of Terror from 1971. Showcasing the beautiful yet underfilmed region of Cornwall, the Giallo-esque, got me there, Crucible of Terror by director Ted Hooker finds a group of hippie-ish youths staying at the seaside home of a reclusive and mysterious sculptor. Their holiday fun is short-lived as they begin falling prey to a vicious, mysterious killer who's determined to protect a deadly secret hidden deep in the cliffside caverns. Taking visual cues from Italian horror and displaying a surprising amount of horrible bloodshed, this long-overlooked whodunit is a precursor to the soon-to-be budding slasher genre. That one sounds really fun. The next one is Penny Gold from 1973. When a young woman is slain by a trench coat wearing and razor wielding killer, there's no shortage of suspects, including her twin sister, boyfriend, and plentiful shady acquaintances. As the mystery unfolds and more people vanish or are murdered, a detective begins to suspect that the crimes might be connected to a prized stamp. Interesting. A slow burn hybrid of murder mystery and crime caper, directed by acclaimed cinematographer Jack Cardiff, Penny Gold offers twist after twist, leading to a murder-fueled final act sure to leave one guessing who the real killer is until the end titles. Actually, that sounds pretty fun. And then the last one is Craze. This one's from 1974. By day, Neil Mottram operates an unassuming antique shop, while at night he is the high priest of a small cult, worshipping the idol Chuku. After accidentally killing one of his fellow worshippers, Neil offers Chuku her body as a sacrifice, shortly after which he finds himself bestowed with good fortune. Believing that the idol is responsible for his luck, Neil finds more sacrificial victims. Anchored by a memorably unhinged starring performance by Jack Palance, sounds fun, director Freddie Francis's blending of occult horror and police thriller Craze remains an overlooked gem in the oeuvre of famed producer Herman Cohen. Yeah, I mean, they all sound pretty fun. It's just the one I'm least excited about for the month. But still pretty excited about for the month. So yeah, looking good. Cruel Britania. The next one has some damage on the slipcover, but whatever. Like, I'm not one of those people who's really going to contact them about this type of stuff unless it's like pretty messed up. The other one has a bunch of damage on it too, but anyway, Lamberto Bava's Delirium, Photos of Gioia. I don't even know if you'll be able to see. Yeah, see, there's like a crease. That's like really creased, kind of banged up right here. Yeah, right there. Yeah, but not too terrible. Anyway, that looks good. Very giallo-y. That looks good. And on the inside, that looks good. I remember seeing this before. I think Severin released this some time back. Oh, and this is 4K. Yep, and there are the discs. All right. Gioia made her fortune working as a high-class call girl, but now she runs one of Italy's top erotic photo magazines, for which only the most beautiful women are hired as models. Excuse me. When a perverted psychopath begins killing them off one by one, sending Gioia macabrely staged photos of their corpses posed to mirror their latest centerfolds, Gioia realizes that to put an end to the horrors and unmask the murderer, She will need to come to terms with a secret in her past, which has resulted in all of the bloodshed. Sounds fun. This is actually a film I've been meaning to watch for quite some time, so finally I'll be watching it. Oh, and as a reminder, if I didn't say it already, um, all of these September releases, the 3 that are included, the subscriber ones, I will be doing a video ranking them and reviewing them a bit in depth. So you can look for that. Maybe be out in like a week or 2. So just watch for that on the channel. But excited about Delirium. Very excited. And that leads me to the one that I'm most excited about. And this is a film that I actually only saw for the first time within the past 2 years, I believe, when it was on Shudder and I did it for a watch party. Howling 2, Your Sister is a Werewolf. It's fun. This is a 4K. Love this artwork, by the way. This slipcover artwork is wonderful. Front and back. Love it. Unfortunately, it's very bent. My slipcover. I don't know if it's catching the light the right way. You can you can see there how it's bent on the spine of it, basically. But again, it's not that bad. I don't want to have to send it back. All good. We'll just deal with that. But anyway, let's look at the rest here. I still like the original artwork too. It's obviously not as good as the new Vinegar Syndrome artwork, but it's still fun. There's a nice booklet. Yeah, essays, baby. Essays, love it. And then let's read about it. Ben is mourning the recent death of his sister Karen, whom he believes to have been killed in a savage wolf attack. At her funeral, Ben is approached by the mysterious Stefan, who warns him that Karen had been attacked by a cult of werewolves and that she too will become an undead lycanthrope. Although dismissing his claims as mere superstition, Ben's girlfriend Jenny convinces him that he should take Stefan's warning more seriously, and sure enough, Karen is soon back from the dead, covered in fur and complete with a deadly set of canines. After being narrowly saved from a fatal bite by Stefan, Ben is persuaded that he's telling the truth and volunteers to join him on his mission to destroy the increasing hordes of beastly creatures ravaging Europe. But as their journey takes them to Transylvania, where werewolves from around the world are gathering for their ritual, Ben and Stefan fear that they might be in over their heads, especially once werewolf queen Sturba receives news of their arrival. Yeah, so this one is a So Bad It's Good film, so glad it's getting the Vinegar Syndrome treatment for that reason, because, I love my So Bad It's Good films. I will say this is a movie that when I was very young and I was like flipping channels and not supposed to watch this stuff, I had come across it and my parents weren't in the room, so I saw part of it and was really intrigued by it, but then I didn't know what the movie was. So for the longest time, until I actually watched it for the first time within the past 2 years, I was like, this is the movie. Finally, this is the movie I saw on that day. It's wild. But yeah, most excited about this one. Not because I'm going to check it out for the first time, but because I like it. It's fun. Great to add to the collection. But yeah, so that's all of them. Would now like to hear your thoughts on what I picked up. Anything that you're excited about that you picked up recently. Doesn't have to be Vinegar Syndrome or even horror related. Whatever you're excited about, go ahead and put it in the comments. Subscribe, please. Thumbs up. Notification bell button. Be a member if you want to. All that stuff. But thank you for your time. Really appreciate it. And until next time, keep it brutal.